one. Number one shit with your number one. You ain't number one.
Heartbreak Hotel, the official fifth studio album, I believe, by Phora. And let me just say that this right here is the motherfucking comeback that everybody wanted Phora to have, including me. This is the comeback I was waiting for, this motherfucker. To all my single people on Valentine's Day, which I guess at this point was like 2 days ago, 1 day ago, but to all my single people, you know, happy Single Awareness Day still. This album is for you. I know it's kind of a big slap to the face maybe because it's kind of a sad album, but it's a pretty good one, to be honest. I think anybody, even if you're in a relationship, would really enjoy this album, even if you are like single or taken. Now, I'll be the first to admit that I have been, you know, slowly not liking Phora anymore. You know, I haven't really been fucking with his new shit that much. Don't get me wrong, when Yours Truly Forever came out, I was really excited. You know, Phora finally was getting a lot of popularity. You know, all of a sudden everybody knew who Phora was. You know, I think that's when he got signed to a record label. I mean, it only lasted like 2 years, but he did get signed to a label, which was pretty dope of him. You know, that's the album that I saw in stores, you know, on CD. I actually bought that album. I own that physical copy of Yours Truly Forever in my collection right now. So I was really excited to see what Phora was gonna do next with his music. You know, what else, you know, is Phora going to do in his future, in his career, now that he is signed to this label. And then Love Is Hell and Bury Me With Dead Roses came out. Love Is Hell, the second studio album that this guy made in the record label, it just seemed a bit underwhelming. You know, the moment I saw that Trippie Redd was on the first track, I just felt, oh, like it is not the fucking same Phora vibe. And then Bury Me With Dead Roses came out, you know, his first album as an independent artist during the first 2 years that he was signed to the label. You know, he left the label after Love Is Hell, and he made Bury Me With Dead Roses, and it just, once again, it just didn't feel the same. You know, I just really couldn't fuck with those albums anymore. You know, most Phora fans won't agree to this, you know, and that's okay if you still like his music. You know, I fully understand that you will always support Phora, you know, whether he makes a bad album or not. It's just that you all do gotta admit that, you know, those two albums just weren't it. You know, it just was not the best shit that Phora could make, considering that he has dropped a lot of phenomenal projects prior to these two albums being released. So, you know, I'm sorry, y'all, maybe I'm being a bit too harsh on those two albums, but I personally did not care for them whatsoever. However, last year Phora made an album that made me sort of think, okay, let's see where this goes, and let's see if Phora is gonna, like, hopefully get the hang of it. And that album was the sequel to With Love. With Love 2 became my second favorite album by Phora in a fucking minute. You know, I thought that was the best shit he's made in a while since Yours Truly Forever, and I really got the old school Phora vibes from that. You know, I think all it took was Phora to realize that, yeah, he got lost along the fame for a bit, and then going through a really like tragic and traumatic thing that happened to him last year. You know, almost committing suicide this time, having to make himself like be better in the rehabilitation center. So I do think that all that happened for a reason, because he gave us the best project that he has made in a while, and it got me excited for the first time to see, you know, what else he was gonna do next. And that's when this album came out a few days ago, and honestly, I am fucking glad, because this album is me slowly starting to like Phora again. I think the best way I could put this album is it feels like a better version of Love Is Hell. You know, sure, Phora has done songs like these before. You know, he has done songs where he talks about heartbreak, you know, the pain you feel during a heartbreak, but I don't think he ever truly like went in depth on, you know, what it really is like, you know, for men at least, to feel a heartbreak, and just for anybody in general. You know, I feel that most artists don't like to talk about the ugly side of the heartbreak. You know, I think there were a very like few like artists that have done that before. Like, I know Blackbird does it a lot. You know, he did it last year with Everything Means Nothing. You know, that one's a very like, you know, it sounds like a very uplifting album, but the lyrics are sad as fuck. And, you know, obviously Jhené Aiko did it with Chilambo last year. Like, that had like all the grieving process of what it's like going through a heartbreak. And Phora, he does the same, only he is a lot more dark about it. You know, there are no happy moments to it at all. Like maybe the last track has this sort of like hopeful, uplifting vibe to it that makes you think that everything's going to be okay. Regardless of what you of like what you have lost and what you're feeling right now. But that's like the exemption of it, because the whole album is just super sad. So yeah, I really do appreciate what Phora was trying to do here, because I feel that this is what he was trying to do in Love Is Hell, but he just couldn't really do it right. And I think he achieved it very well in this album, in my opinion. Honestly, y'all, just hearing the first track on the album called Colorblind just fucking made me realize two things. One, this album is gonna be heartbreaking as hell, so get ready to fucking cry. And second of all, that I am definitely getting the old school Phora vibes back again. The production value, it doesn't have like the same basic like beats that he has been using during 2019 and 2018. It doesn't have the basic beats. I love the whole acoustic guitar vibe throughout every track on the album. I just love how chill it is. I love that Phora is singing throughout most of it instead of just rapping. Obviously he does rap, because that's like he's really talented at that. But I really enjoyed hearing the singing voice. I enjoyed hearing Phora sing choruses for the first time in a minute. I honestly got the same like satisfying feeling that I never thought I would feel again in a Phora album. Colorblind really sets the mood for what this whole album is going to be about, as Phora checks into the Heartbreak Hotel for one last time to release probably his most open and vulnerable project. Yeah, I know that's kind of a like bold thing to say, considering that I would think every album that Phora has made is super fucking vulnerable and just super important to him. I feel that he like has a new lesson that he's learned in every new album that he teaches to his listeners and just to the whole world in general. But this one specifically just feels that Phora has been holding in a lot of pain that he has for a minute, and he's finally releasing out to the world as he visits the Heartbreak Hotel to truly go in depth of why he is feeling the way he is feeling, and why these feelings won't go away for a while. And of course, the second track on the album, Loaded Gun, is a song that everyone has heard because it is the only single that Phora has released for this album. And that one has a really dope and very like smart metaphor of how being in love with one specific person that you can't let go of, it feels like a loaded gun. How love just feels so deadly. You're running in circles because every time you feel that it's safe to come back, he or she or he goes to just shoot you straight in the heart and make you feel like pretty much dead inside. That's what that whole song is about. Once again, a very like sad fucking song. Just pretty much every song on here is, I wouldn't say is the same shit. Like each song is absolutely different and gives you like something new and a whole different perspective of love. But they all have the same pattern that love is like a loaded gun, and that who knew love could be so deadly, and pretty much having that fear of falling in love and not knowing what to do once that love is gone. I feel that in this album more than ever, I can actually feel Phora's like pain. I can feel the emotion. I can tell that this album means a lot to him. I can tell that the pain that he experienced has like been eating him up for the longest time ever, and maybe that's the reason why he sort of like lost himself along the way. I honestly feel that this album is just something that he really needed to get out, and I was honestly really like glad that he came out with this album. I personally didn't think I was gonna hear a new album by Phora in a minute. I know that I should expect him yearly, because this guy has been dropping albums back to back for each year as far as I've known him. But I felt that With Love 2 was like everything he had to say for a while, until he experienced another sad thing in his life. But I definitely was not expecting this album at all. But at the same time, I was glad, because it gave me that same satisfaction, from a Phora album that I had back in the day, back when I first heard Yours Truly Forever, back when I first heard the first With Love album. He just really like went all out for this project. It may be only 7 tracks long, but it honestly is very fucking worth it. Honestly, I could go on and on about this album, but unfortunately it does only have 7 tracks, so I really can't really say much about it, because honestly the title itself is just pretty self-explanatory, and the songs themselves are self-explanatory as well. You know, the song entitled "I'm Scared of Falling in Love" is self-explanatory right there. You know, Phora is afraid of falling in love because of, you know, of what he experienced in the past. You know, as many of us have experienced. You know, I know that a lot of us, even if we are currently talking to somebody, we are scared of falling in love because, you know, we don't know if it's going to turn out the way we hope and want it to. You know, sometimes we never know. And, you know, like until you're in that process again, you know, you'll never know if this is like going to be a long-term thing. So that's a risk. That is a risk I feel that nobody really likes taking. You know, the song entitled "Damage Inside" is pretty self-explanatory as well. You know, the art of letting go is actually a really, really beautiful metaphor as well. You know, that song has a feature with Destiny Rogers. So for those of you saying if this album is about Destiny, I don't think so, because she's on the album. So I mean, hey, but at the same time, I don't know if that's the same Destiny, so don't quote me on that. But that song, "The Art of Letting Go," like it really, really shows that, yeah, it's really, really hard to let go, and it's something that nobody like really wants to do. But I feel that not that many people, including myself, you know, I'm very guilty of this. But I feel that not that many people like see the positive outcome of letting somebody go, like letting an experience go. You know, letting somebody go. You know, sure, it may hurt a little bit. You know, you always want to hold on to that hope that maybe like there is a future for you guys, and maybe, you know, you know, just maybe it could like work out later on. You know, you're hoping that just because it won't work out now, that maybe later on in the future it could work out, and y'all will see each other like having a future together. But at the same time, it just really isn't like that. And, you know, until you have finally like let that person go, you are always gonna constantly have them in your mind, and you're always gonna like just gonna be stuck in your own thoughts of like, you know, what did you do wrong and all this shit. So, you know, that's why I feel that, you know, not a lot of us see like the positive outcome of letting go, because yeah, it's gonna hurt for a little bit. You know, it's always going to hurt, but at the same time, just take those experiences to and learn from them. And hopefully in your next relationship, you know, whether it is a few months from now, a few years from now, you know, that's how long it took me. 3 years single of me just fucking being by myself, you know, learning to love myself. You know, like that will absolutely, you know, hopefully would lead to a much more better future for you, you know, with a significant other that will absolutely adore the fuck out of you. And you will finally see that, you know, all these like toxic people and bad relationships that you were with, you know, it was there for a reason. You know, I usually haven't really been like that good on believing in everything happens for a reason, but lately I have been really feeling that way. So yeah, you know, this is why I feel that it is a really beautiful metaphor of calling that song "The Art of Letting Go." Like it is a very, very like beautiful song. Honestly, the best way I could summarize this song is that we've all visited the Heartbreak Hotel at least once. You know, Phora has visited at least once. You know, I'm sure that, you know, he has been there a bunch of times. You know, I've been there as well. You know, Phora, you know, realizes that he's not the only one going through it. You know, and I think the best way I could put it is that, you know, we all obviously have gone through the Heartbreak Hotel. You know, for some of us it seems like a constant visit. You know, I know that for a lot of you it may seem that the moment that you think you're about to leave the Heartbreak Hotel, something happens in your life that just pulls you back in. And although it may seem like a very vicious cycle at some points, and you just feel like giving up, and, you know, like not wanting to like give love a try anymore because you don't want to go through that feeling again, just always be aware that you are not alone. But most importantly, do not give up, because love is absolutely the best feeling in the world, whether it is self-love, a love for a parent, a family member, you know, for a pet, for a hobby that you really, really, really love doing. You know, just know that love comes in many, many, many different ways, you know, besides wanting to love another like significant other. You know, although that is something that we all crave, and I guarantee that you will all, watching this video, anybody who is single, you will all find that special person that you can call yours. But for now, just always know that love can come in many ways. So, you know, love yourself, love that hobby that you're doing, you know, love the life that you're living right now, because shit could be a lot worse. And, you know, just know that you will soon leave the Heartbreak Hotel, and, you know, one day you'll eventually will never ever have to go back to that dark place again. Honestly, y'all, although I am currently in a relationship, and although I am the most happiest I've ever been. You know, I am extremely happy with the person that I'm with right now. I personally found this album to be super relatable and very heartbreaking because, like I said earlier in the video, you know, prior to meeting the person that I'm with now, I spent 3 years single, just really trying to get over a really bad breakup. And personally, I feel that this album would have really helped me out a lot if it came out during that time. So yeah, I highly recommend this one to each and every one of you, because even if I can enjoy it and really find it super relatable at the same time, then I feel that you will all will enjoy it as well, and it will help you out with whatever it is you're going through, because you are definitely not alone. So yeah, highly recommend this one to each and every one of you. It may be only 7 tracks long, but it is very satisfying at the end. It is old school Phora, and I am slowly starting to like Phora again. And because of that, because this album has made me slowly excited once again for what Phora is going to do next, and because it is the comeback that I wanted from him and what all of his fans wanted, I feel I'm going to give this album a fucking 10 out of 10. Good fucking job for a first 10 out of 10 for an album this year, and just overall of me doing this rating scale for the first time, and Phora got the 10 out of 10. So yeah, definitely go listen to this one. Thank you all so much for watching. If you guys enjoyed my review, what did you guys think about this album? Did you hear it? Did you love it? Did you hate it? What are your favorite tracks? What are your least favorite tracks? Let me know in the comment section down below. I would absolutely love to hear your opinions about it. I would love to have a conversation with you all. And with that being said, don't forget to like, subscribe, click that button down below, all that good stuff, and don't forget to stay happy.
It's like I'm living a dream, that's how to reach. I've been cooking like Walter and Jesse Pink. It's exhausting trying to be a prodigy. Fast DV.